I will pretty much read anything you put in front of me. This is a habit all good radio DJs should have, the idea being that you're always on the lookout for new material. Problem is, most radio DJs aren't very good, and they just end up going on Reddit and Twitter, read the local paper's website, and look up shit on allmusic.com and Wikipedia a minute and a half before they come out of the next song. Anyway, recently someone left a copy of Awake laying around. It's a rag distributed by Jehovah's Witnesses, along with the Watchtower. So I'm leafing through it, and I find this section about things going on in the world. And apparently the Jehovah's Witnesses who write for Awake aren't the cheeriest bunch, because it's all bad news, discussing the fallout from the issues in Northern Ireland and how extreme weather conditions like flooding and snowstorms are becoming far too common. Then we get a few troubling stats. For example, 13% of cell owners have pretended to be using their phone in order to avoid interacting with the people around them. What a dick move, right? People being antisocial, I think we can all agree that's not particularly good. Here's another one. The last 5 summers have seen the 5 lowest figures on record for the extent of sea ice in the Arctic. That's also not good, right? I don't honestly know why, because I don't care about the environment. I'll be dead before it's a real problem, but pretty sure it's not good that there's less sea ice. Issue number 3. About 47% of Africa's arable land remains uncultivated. Well, that's terrible news. People are starving in Africa. I understand the factors are bigger than this, but if that land could be used to its full potential and food was more plentiful and accessible, well, that may go a long way to helping that issue. Man, this news just keeps getting worse and worse. What kind of brutal, soul-crushing stat have they saved for last? Over the last 10 years, 10 countries, the Netherlands, Belgium, Canada, Spain, South Africa, Norway, Sweden, Portugal, Iceland, and Argentina, have legalized marriage for same-sex couples. Dear God, this is awful. Wait, what? Come on. Seriously, Jehovah's Witnesses? You're saying legalized gay marriage is on the same awful level as 3 decades of turmoil in Northern Ireland, technology turning people into dicks, environmental issues that have or could cause serious issues to human beings, and people starving to death in Africa? I know that hardcore religious people are pretty upset about gay people wanting to partake in their made-up ceremony that ultimately means nothing anymore, but I think this might be a new low. One could argue that the cell phone stat shows that they're not saying these are all equally as terrible, though another could argue that they just threw that stat in to lighten the mood before they hit you with all this other terrible news. And I get it, some book you're fond of says it's bad for 2 dudes or 2 chicks to get it on. But I don't think people who eat McDonald's are terrible human beings just because I read Fast Food Nation, and that's actually a non-fiction book. I said this before in a previous dose, I don't think anyone should be getting married, but to elaborate on that, I think it's a waste of time and money, and it doesn't mean anything. You don't magically have even stronger feelings for a person just because you each stuck a ring on each other. You either love each other, or you don't. But if the government is going to continue to interfere and say that married people are entitled to additional benefits, they should be available to everyone, gay or straight. And until a religious person can come up with even one solid example of how homosexuals being married hurts their own straight, deity-approved marriage, or for that matter impedes any part of their life in any way, they're welcome to stick that Bible where even God won't be able to find it. And Jehovah's Witnesses in particular, lighten up. Go celebrate a birthday or get a blood transfusion or something.